This stream contains fast-flashing images that may affect viewers who are susceptible to photosensitive epilepsy or other photosensitivities. Viewer discretion is advised. It all comes down to this. 2 playoff slots are up for grabs, and today's matches will decide which teams make the cut. Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to the final day of VCT Americas Stage 1, coming at you live from the Riot Games Arena in Los Angeles, California. Hey, that's right, baby. I'm Golden Boy. Today, we're here with Mimi and Baby Babe. One more again. And why are you wearing glasses?
I mean, I wanted to fit in with you guys, you know? Like, I don't have actual glasses. These are the only things I have.
Okay, that's fine. He just wanted to wear his Ray-Bans. That's honestly all he wanted to do.
I'm just trying to be cool, man. I just want to fit in, man. Come on.
You know,
you think
I'm wearing these because I want to be cool? Okay, I'd rather not.
You also have Ray-Bans. You're also flexing.
Do I really?
Yes.
Honestly, didn't even know. I just picked the one that was at the store, and then I ran with it.
Noted multi-millionaire.
Because you got it like that, huh?
No, I was at a Target. Anyway, moving forward, let's go ahead and talk about what happened yesterday on this stage, because those matches set the stage for what we are going to witness here today. Now, first up, it was NRG versus 100 Thieves. Now, this was a game that, coming into it, 100 Thieves needed a clean 2-0 for Sentinel's sake, but they also wanted to establish themselves here, and they did just that. 100 Thieves looked great.
Yeah, you had the whole clout conglomerate rooting for them, the 2 biggest fan bases behind this team, and they really showed up in that match for 100 Thieves on their way into playoffs now. But then we got into this second game, and for Crew, I mean, it started off looking dire in that map number 1. Leviathan was running them over, and then they mounted this crazy close comeback only to stumble at the final yard, Lev recomposing and winning the game.
Yeah, that was such a sick series, and man, I was dying throughout it all because like I had such a long day yesterday, but it was such a pleasure to watch. I got like a 7th win yesterday watching that last match.
That Breeze is one of the like most ridiculous games I feel like we've watched all season. Just the amount of individual moments, the back and forth swingy rounds. It was such a sick match to watch.
Yeah, it was awesome, top to bottom. If you haven't had a chance to watch it yet, you definitely should. But for now, though, let's go ahead and focus on what's at hand. So this is the last day of Stage 1, and here is how it all breaks down. So your confirmed teams are going to be Crew and Cloud9. On the Alpha side, on the Omega side, it's going to be Leviathan and 100 Thieves. Now, Crew doesn't get to go, you know, lossless, I guess. They don't have the perfect record, but they still end at the top of their group, and it's an all LATAM just bonanza. So it's amazing.
Both LATAM teams mean that they get to auto-qualify into that double elimination portion. They're only 1 match win away from making Shanghai. And for the rest of these playoff teams, it is a brutal format. That opening match is only 1 game, you're done. You lose there, your chances are over. The pressure is really on for these squads, and especially for the teams who haven't even made playoffs yet.
Let's take a look at the bracket, as a matter of fact. We have it right here, so we can give everyone a nice visual. So you got Crew and Lev, as you had mentioned, Mimi. They're going to be sitting at that point where if they just win that 1 game, make their way into the winners' finals, they will qualify for Shanghai.
It also means we guarantee get a LATAM team. Even if they both lose, they play each other in that qualification match down below. So that's sick for the LATAM community.
Yeah, if you would have told me even 100 Thieves and C9 would have auto-qualified for this playoff as well last year, I would have been like, what? What do you mean?
Yeah, it's crazy.
How's that possible?
And Cloud9, the reason you don't see him on there is because we don't know if there will be the 2nd or 3rd seed today. That'll be decided. But there's more important stakes than that.
Yes. All right, here we go. We got another graphic to explain how this whole thing works. And throughout the day, we're going to keep reminding everyone. So here's how it all breaks down. So Loud wins, they're in. We don't have to worry about anything else. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Now, if Loud loses, EG makes it, which, by the way, that's also pretty easy to understand now.
That's also crazy still that EG can even make it.
Very true, but this is where things start to get a little funky. Now, if G2 wins a map, like we said, you know, they're in. So we got some pretty straightforward things. But if G2 gets 14 rounds, then they're in.
And that's across the entire series. They could lose 2-1, and they could still get 14 rounds, and they qualify.
Yeah, so it would actually behoove G2 to make it to a Game 3, potentially. Yeah. Get a few more rounds added to the dock, and maybe a couple pistol wins. You never know. Now, this is where we have some fun with this. So Sentinels now need G2 to lose 0-2 with 12 or less rounds, okay, total for the entire series. And if Loud wins 2-0 and G2 gets exactly 13 rounds, then we will have a best-of-1 tiebreaker between G2 and Sentinels.
That's crazy.
I want it to happen.
I want it to happen too.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
it's so insane that we're getting to this point. I mean, how did we even get here?
I feel like the Americas region has just been blessed with some wild narratives.
Honestly, just every region has been the same, though. EMEA had a group where all 3 teams were 3 and 3.
That's true.
And it all came down to
I know. I had
tiebreakers.
to see Mitch do his best Charlie Day
We
impression.
could get a BO1 match.
Liquid
It's
snuck
absurd.
in there somehow, 3% chance of qualifying. We got
So the
Sentinels with
biggest thing-
1.65%. You were saying.
The biggest thing for fans, Sentinels fan, you're preying on G2's downfall. You
Yep.
want 13 or less rounds from them, and you need them to lose 0-2. And on the other side, for the fans of EG, you're hoping they win the match and take down Loud.
Which is also going to be a pretty wild thing to think about. But we'll talk about this first match real quick here. We got Cloud9 versus MIBR. Keep in mind for this one, C9 wins it. They get to go up in the seeding. So we'll see how that all plays out here. But yes, you have that last game. And if Loud wins, who knows? Honestly,
The implications are going to be crazy.
It's all over the place, man. It's so cool here. But let's go ahead and move on, though, because last week, Loud was facing elimination. And after an 0-3 start, but they were able to rally back, and they took down Sentinels to keep their playoff hopes alive. Now, let's go ahead and take a listen into their comms for that match.
They've conditioned Loud to open B with that Cascade drone.
E Lê, vai pra B.
Pega C4, pega
Dá
C4.
pra mim, dá pra mim.
Só vou clinar meio.
Vai, leva você, Lê. Leva você a Spike. Eu vou passar quando eu tô aqui. Pera aí, Dudu.
Eu tô pegando passagem só.
Vamos, sai correndo, Dudu.
Mas eu não vou ter nada de
Parede
parede
aí.
pra ele, então.
Faz
Eu não
outra
tenho
parede
nada
pra
de
mim.
parede. A gente
Também
precisa.
a faca, não consigo.
Two. KJ, Harbor.
I'm holding to fight. Are you holding with me?
I'm holding top.
They're
running back, they're running
Running right. They might have gotten an alert somewhere.
Yeah, up default already.
His
His
turret's
turret go up, yeah.
Binding. Holding.
Close to me.
Close. Jordan, I'm gonna flash for you.
Yeah.
Flashing. Dead.
Knows him. Can win this retake.
Just waiting, yeah, I'm waiting.
One more stall. Jet.
Dead.
Nice.
I'm running up right now.
There's another molly on bomb, guys.
Can you break it?
Yeah, I can wall down.
I can molly yellow.
I'm gonna
I
keep
can one way.
bopping.
Okay.
I'm
Wait, we're wall down for
I'm
now.
all yellow.
You need one way?
Yeah, I one way now.
One way?
I'm all yellow.
Come.
You tap?
Tem mole ainda, Matias.
Não tenho não. Matei um.
Ah, tô pingando.
De 73.
Para, tô cego.
Close left. Nice. Off snow if you can get to it.
85 on. He's looking for a pick.
Nice, man.
Die, Shiners.
Let's go.
Sorry, Zach. No, you're good. I can get another one.
Aqui, guys, parei eles. Era jet e gecko aqui. Jet e gecko. Não, quero passar que eu vou tomar faca.
Aqui, aqui embaixo, não?
Tá, eu vou
Vou
renovar
fazer barulho, vou fazer isso, parada isso.
Quer que eu passe?
Passa lá.
Silver jet.
I'm
I'm gonna nuke B.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
have your molly?
they have Silva
Okay,
auto. Yeah, I do.
I can dash across yellow. Can you flash over?
They're gonna be heavy here, boys. We need
Yeah,
to
I'm gonna
fight
go top
snow or
hill.
something,
I'll go top
probably.
hill.
I'm pushing. I'm gonna molly over side.
Yeah. Can
Ready?
you flash over yellow and I'm gonna dash? Yeah,
3,
wall.
2, 1.
Hey, flash one.
He's yellow.
I'm molly them.
Close in the cove.
Hey, default. He left.
Guys, I want to fake click, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can buy back side. Can we wall down?
Yeah.
And fight? We're vulnerable.
Okay, just wait.
Zoltan.
Para o plant, 20 segundos. Tô olhando, tem cara desse.
Direita. Sai. Cuidado direita. Tem um parede 2. Não se mata. Tem parede 2.
Olhando direita. Pega shit.
Esse choque no
Clicou, guys.
Winguinho. Matei o Winguinho.
10 segundos, guys, não deu tempo.
Sentinels just relying and hoping that they can at least send in a little bro there to get the plant down, but no, spam town.
Jogamos bola.
Ah, jogaram muita bola aí.
A great time for that Loud team to start to, rev the engines a little bit there, baby. Wouldn't you say so?
Yeah, I mean, those comms are like very, very clean, concise, and I think that just goes to a testament of Sadhak and what he brings to this team. I feel like it's always been that type of environment for them, and it's just so good to listen to.
Yeah, no matter the players, I think they all integrate into that system really well. Don't speak Portuguese, but sounded good. And it's been
it
working
sounded
out.
clean, right?
It did, yeah.
No panicking,
No,
just
not
good,
at all.
good, clear comms. Yeah, you love to hear it here. Of course, they're going to need that and more today if they want to get that clean 2-0 win against G2. But for now, let's go ahead and take a look at our first match and talk about Cloud9, who have qualified for the playoffs. Now, the only question that we all have is whether or not they're going to finish in the number 2 seed or if they're going to finish in the number 3 seed. But they just need to make sure that there are no little oops oopsies, you know, for that first match. You know what I mean?
Why did you have to say it like that?
Oopsies. I don't know. When I say
really
oopsies,
prefer
I gotta
you
say it
wouldn't.
that way.
I'd prefer you wouldn't.
Oopsie.
Okay, let's
Keep
move on.
being you, bro. Keep being you, all right?
Always.
I
baby.
don't know what to think about this Cloud9 team because it feels like we see such different versions. When they're at the best, they're beating teams like Loud. They're super proactive with the way Oxy's playing. He's on fire. Zeppa, I feel like, is looking like one of the strongest supportive players in the league, and the calling on their attack sides has been impeccable. And then you turn around and you look at their first matches, you look at that game versus Furia, and it's just the sloppiest Valorant of all time. This is really like the team of contrast right now.
It's when they're able to actually enable Oxy, it looks amazing, right? But it's when he isn't enabled by his teammates, what do we fall back on? And sometimes they get stuck in that mode where it's like we don't have an answer if Oxy's not popping off. Now, that being said, they have a lot of time to work on something like that, you know, throughout the entire stage. And I'm looking forward to this match because they need to show that they can have other options in their book, or Oxy might just go kill again.
I think Oxy's also so important beyond just the kills he's getting and how much of a fragger he is, but in the way that he's also kind of the mental leader.
If you can get him going, he's hyped like crazy.
Once he's hot, he's yelling, he's screaming, he's really building up his boys. And I think they fuel off that energy when they're their best, which is why he's such an important player. And even if it relies on him again, getting a confident win today against MIBR, going into playoffs, I think would really help to continue that success into their important matches that will guaranteed be a single elim.
Yeah, and look, I mean, there's no doubt, you know, Cloud9 looking great this year, but we want to know if they can still get the map 1 win.
They haven't won one yet.
That has been eluding them. So here's what Vanity had to say about that issue in our post-match interview we did not that long ago.
Honestly, I have no clue. It's a handicap, I guess.
Okay.
I know we have a chance to win if we give them a map, so make it entertaining, but I don't know. We just suck at first map, like, the entire time. I think we've been a team, like, we've been really poor on first maps, and we definitely need to fix it, but we've tried a lot of things and nothing's worked so far, so.
Is it coming in too loose and feeling like the looseness will help, or just being able to find your footing halfway through that first map?
Honestly, I have...
Okay.
No idea. We've tried a lot of different things. We tried a warm-up scrim, we tried no warm-up scrim. Yeah, I have no clue, to be honest.
Well, clearly Cloud9 has been unable to solve this problem. Vanity's saying he has no idea what to do, so me and Baby Bay got together and we decided to help out. Baby Bay, pro player, expert, you know a thing or two about warm-ups, and you picked some things out here.
I did, yeah. So this was my my routine.
Okay, pre-match tips for Cloud9.
On cue.
By Baby Bay and me. That's us.
Glad you guys working on that together.
What a slideshow. So this is what I would do as Baby. I am Baby Bay.
Your first tip?
My first tip is...
Wait a minute!
What is that?
Buy a gold chain, get a little scruff, get some nice earrings, and then touch some grass and get some sun.
Yo, what happened to that, Baby Bay?
Hey, man, we don't need to talk about those times, all right? This was a different era, all right? This was pro Baby Bay. I'm caster Baby Bay
Oh,
now,
you're caster Baby Bay
My
now,
life's a little bit more chill now, all right? I don't need to be on point anymore.
I need the picture off my screen. Second tip.
Eat a light meal with some caffeine. You know, some coffee in the morning with a banana or something of that sort.
To clip art?
Yes.
Presentations are your passion.
And the first thing
but let me backtrack real quick. When you touch the grass, no shoes or socks on. You must be one with the ground. You must ground yourself.
Must be
I agree. I think everyone needs to touch grass more often.
Yeah, thank you.
What?
All right, next. Warm up with an AIM Labs or Rank game. AIM Labs, I'm right here.
Okay, that sounds like you're trying to get sponsor money.
Send me that contract.
He's trying to get sponsor money, clearly.
Hey.
Okay, no.
For caffeine, you can throw in a Red Bull instead of coffee.
Oh, look at
The sponsors love them. I'm getting this picture.
But it's pretty solid, though, right? Oh,
yeah,
come on. All right, what would you do, Mimi?
Here's what I would do.
Okay.
Mimi.
You're Mimi.
Eat a balanced breakfast.
What is that?
Oh, yeah. That's my favorite. Military soup?
Military soup.
That's all me all day.
Think about how much different... There's like hot dogs. There's slices of American cheese. You need to fill your stomach and feel good. No, Bren's actually gotten me onto that. It's good.
Yeah, it's delicious.
Eat a balanced breakfast. Easy way to start. Number 2. Pet a cat.
Hey.
Proven to improve morale. Vanity has cats. He can bring the teammates over to his house.
I actually
think about
co-signed
how
that
calm
one.
you feel.
Yeah, I think
how
petting a
calm
cat's
you
great.
feel. You've got a cat.
Yeah.
Does it calm you down?
Absolutely. That's my
But what
boy.
if you have allergies? What do you do if you're I'm
honestly,
allergic?
That's your L. That's your L, dog.
Maybe that's the secret to playing better.
Having no
Take some
allergies to cats.
antihistamines,
No, having allergies to cats.
Oh, well, we'll find out
I don't
next
think
time.
that's the solution.
The
My
eyes get
final
watery,
one.
you could see straight.
Hey, we've got the most important one. Just think about transfer.
No, what?
Look at this. Doesn't it make it? This is
No,
LA
it makes
Metro.
sense. It makes sense.
This
You
is
get your
Pacific
mind off the
Surfliner,
pressure of the game.
Metrolinx. That's me thinking about that's.
I was thinking more Thomas the Train,
like
though. Something a little bit more uplifting, you know, not like
no, some more
these
current.
gloomy trains.
These aren't, what do you mean gloomy? Look, sun, shining, California coast, beauty, love,
And then you're just
winter,
stuck inside the
excitement.
train?
No, you're looking.
What about
you're thinking
Thomas?
about it. You're imagining in your mind the movement, the passion, the future, what you could be. Think about how warm up that get you. A comfortable commute. You can read a book. You can.
Oh, you're off.
I'm still thinking about Thomas.
That's how you could.
You just did this whole segment so you get an opportunity to talk about trains. I can't
look,
with her
look
right
at
now.
it. This is great.
I literally cannot.
One of my
All right,
favorites.
let's go ahead and check in with Zeppa and the squad to see if they got it figured out. We got Elizabeth standing by.
Hey, 2 seconds, just 2 seconds. We'll go back to the train. Don't worry about that. So besides the train, how is Cloud9 going to take map 1 finally?
Amy was the head charge of this. We woke up at 9 a.m.
The conductor, if you will.
Yeah, something like that. And we woke up at 9 a.m. and we all had a karaoke session. Can you guess the song?
Wait, why is it that? No.
Oh. Love Story, Taylor Swift.
Taylor's version?
Yeah, Taylor Swift, of course.
Okay. All right. So you get the best of luck now. Now go choo-choo on.
Did they
They're winning it all.
listen?
They're winning it all. They're winning it all. That's all I have to say.
No way. But
I will
also,
say,
why
I don't
isn't
know what
every
that-
song Taylor's version? I don't
know.
understand how this works.
Well,
Oh,
let's
you're not a
explain.
Swiftie.
You talk to
Yeah, you're about to
Yinsen
get
next time
canceled
you
real
see her.
fast, bro.
I love
Careful
Taylor.
what you say right now.
She has exquisite music. I just wanted to understand it.
So wait, let me get this straight. You're not listening to Taylor's version?
Okay, I can't.
I feel like that's kind of problematic, no?
I can't have Yinsu
There's
attack
no right
me.
answer to this.
I can't have Yinsu attack me on live on air. All right, guys. Well, look, here's the thing. We've seen a lot of roster changes on Cloud9
Seen a lot
in the
of
last
trains, too.
and we've seen a lot of changes
Maybe we
as well.
can show some more. I don't know. I'm just
Good news is
think about the people here.
the man with the glorious hair, that guy has been consistent.
Do you envy him?
Oh, I definitely do. And he has been great this whole time. Mimi, it's definitely been one of the things that they can rely on has been Zeppa. He has been this player for them for quite some time now. So it's just great to see him continue this this line of consistency, this train of consistency, if you will.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Wow.
Beautiful. Really railroading us into this segment. Zeppa, I think, is like the guy who makes Star Duelist players look that next level up. I think of him with Leaf last year.
Exactly.
How good he is at, especially on his defensive sides, getting info to be super proactive with these retakes. It always feels like him and his duelists, be it last year or this year with Oxy, are in the right place, are being set up for success. Oxy always talks about the fact that he doesn't have to think. And the reason he doesn't is his IGL vanity and this guy who's setting him up for these plays so consistently.
Yeah, Zeppa's kind of like the unsung hero of this roster, and he's been around for so long. He's that veteran. He has all the experience on this team. And what's the most impressive to me is the fact that when it doesn't go right for Oxy, when he's enabling him, he can actually step up in those moments and get like 2-3 and bring the round back instantly. So even if Oxy dies early, he's a big factor in bringing the rounds back.
Yeah, I mean, he's continued to be that player for C9 for such a long time. They're definitely going to be leaning on him here today. But, you know, those C9's map 1 troubles, you know, could be good news, though, for MIBR. Because, look, the Brazilian squad is yet to be able to pick up a single map win in Stage 1. So this could be a blessing for them. Unfortunately, they've lost 4 straight matches.
That's
which,
crazy.
You know, it is a very unfortunate, but at the same time, though, like, this is where I think a team like MIBR can really strike and catch people off guard if they feel like it, right?
Yeah, I actually didn't even realize that they haven't won a map yet this stage.
They haven't won more than 10 rounds in a map. It has been a tough season.
And it's just weird because they have these maps where, like, I see them doing things really, really good and really correctly.
Yes.
And then something just gets lost in the sauce. All momentum shifts away from them, and they allow teams to just come back on.
And I feel like last week was the pinnacle of that for me because they came out and they played new comps. They instituted the Gecko KO and Icebox, and I loved a lot of the ideas they were showing. I think their defensive side actually looked really good. But then the second half came around. They lose a few critical rounds, and it feels like this team starts to snowball. Someone goes off and makes a hero play. The mental starts to slip a little bit.
Definitely.
And then it just starts to fall apart. And it's so brutal to watch because you can see the potential with this team. But match after match in these critical moments, it just starts to slip away.
Yeah, it is very much a heartbreaker for MIBR. And look, they're going to need to figure it out, and perhaps this could very well be the game for them to do that. But let's go ahead and send it back over to Elizabeth, who actually has an opportunity to chat with FRZ.
FRZ, you switched up your comp last week. What did you learn from that?
Eu acho que a gente aprendeu que no meta agora atualmente o Gecko tá muito forte, então a gente quis colocar na nossa composição. Então é mais pra gente pegar mais sinergia mesmo nos últimos treinos com ela.
We know that Gecko is very strong now in the comp, so we were trying to get more synergy for the team.
So what are you going to do with the time you have in between stage 1 and stage 2?
Acho que a gente aproveitar essa semana agora que a gente vai ter para recarregar um pouco as energias e voltar resetado para voltar a trabalhar com tudo.
Yeah, we're going to use this time to recharge our batteries and come back with, with everything we have.
Obrigado. Obrigado.
Obrigado. Yes. Well, we'll see. Of course, they're going to certainly need to do that. But as Elizabeth alluded to in that interview there, that one bright spot is that we are starting to see this team mix things up and try and introduce new things, catch up to the meta a little bit, if you will. It's been, about time, would you say? Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, they were basically, it feels like the only team in the league that wasn't playing any of these new Gecko comps. And I mean, we're seeing their breeze here, but it was on this is actually some ancient history stuff as well. But last week was when we got to see them come out with these ideas. But what we've also seen is in the past, this is a team that has shown potential. I think Kickoff for me was the height for MIBR. We saw them win some matches. We saw the fundamentals look on point, right? But that team hasn't shown up to the same level in stage 1.
Yeah, and I think that's just a testament to the mental of this game. I mean, after you lose a couple matches, it kind of feels like it can get out of hand. And I guarantee you, every single time they're in a position in these matches in the future, when they're up numbers, everything like that, they're focusing so hard on not throwing that it's actually counteracting what they're actually trying to accomplish.
It's like they're playing to not lose instead of playing to win.
Yeah, and that's a big difference that you see in these teams, and that's why you're hearing a lot from like them and Furia. Oh, we kind of just want to reset the mental and just get our bearings back together.
I mean,
and
the
try
burnout
to
is
do something.
Absolutely real, and
especially when you're losing, it feels like terrible.
When you're losing like that too, when you can see the potential in yourself, when you're probably performing a lot better in scrims, and then these matches slip away. And I think that's especially so for these Brazilian teams, for the LATAM teams that are so far away from home, that are in a very different environment, really risking so much to come out and play in this league. And honestly, all you can hope is that they can take that time, the little bit off, to go back, reset, and show more of what they showed us in Kickoff for stage 2.
Seriously, they have to do that. I mean, sometimes when you're so passionate about what you're doing, it can actually stab you in the back, and we see that with these teams.
Yeah, it definitely has been a bit of a heartbreak season here for MIBR. But here's the thing. One good way that you could turn around any game is to be successful in those eco rounds. And we see it happen every single week here at the VCT Americas stage. So here's what our pros do when the chips are down.
Can't give away our full secrets, but it's definitely more loose than regular rounds.
Yeah, for eco rounds, I would say like people are more loose and try to take more risks because you kind of have to get something started to get into the rounds.
G2 need to find some way to hit the brakes and sort of recover themselves, and maybe it's with Red.
You're supposed to lose the round, and you're just trying to make the right plays. Like if they're close off ults and try to die to the bomb.
En Ecos nos gusta harto, primero que todo, intentar farmear orbes. Creo que la mayoría de los equipos les gusta hacer eso, ya que es una ronda muy difícil de ganar por sí sola. Dentro de todo es como bastante que va en el aire, o sea que estamos en el momento y decimos, bueno, vamos a hacer esto, vamos a hacer lo otro, hagamos esto, digo yo, ¿sabes qué? Vamos a hacer esto, vamos a hacer lo otro, y va variando dependiendo de contra quién estemos jugando, qué hacen ellos, cómo es su estilo de juego y nada, o sea, yo creo que es un poco eso.
I like to say we play a bit more aggressive, more confident, but at the same time, it's rounds where we could be easily punished just by them swarming us with numbers.
Jugamos todos juntos, muy agresivos y haciendo cosas locas, porque el otro equipo o no se lo espera o no está preparado y nada, así es como se puede ganar una ronda de bajo porcentaje de win rate.
If you're taking long aim battles, then getting pistols are good. And if you're doing full hits, probably getting utility is good. And as long as you're all on the same page, that's all that matters.
Weaving backwards and forwards. Final moments will do it. The half-byte conversion.
I think classic armor is pretty overpowered, but at the same time, if you're feeling the ghost, then I think you should buy it. It depends on the fight that you think you're going to take in that round, depending on the strat.
I would say it's map dependent what we pull out on pistol. Like a big map like Breeze, you'll see a couple sheriffs come out. But yeah, we used to be ghost players until the G2 bundle dropped. So once the classic came out, we just started spamming the classic. And hey, it's been kind of working out for us, so.
I like Val at the end getting that little plug in there.
I want you to do the math on like VCT pistol round, like pistol pick rates pre and post bundle.
Oh,
because I feel like classic pick has got to have exploded this season.
Somewhere Space is like going crazy, just typing it out, trying to come up with it. Love that. I mean, okay, well, let's talk about that real fast. Eco rounds. What do you prefer? Do you prefer? We heard a lot of different styles there. Some like to run with the flow of the game. Others like to, have an actual set strategy. What would you like to do?
I think the best takeaway you can get from everything is that there is no right thing to do on eco rounds. I mean, there's so many different options you can do. The main factor, I think it was Cryo that said it, is having everybody on the same page. I think that's the most important thing, because if you're on the same page, let's say you death ball up, you contact somewhere, the enemy team might make a mistake and you might get an upgrade out of nowhere. And then that's when you slowly creep into the round, you build confidence. Maybe you get the bomb down. That's even better now. And now you can play a post plant. Who knows what happens? I mean, there's so much RNG that goes into it, but the best thing you can do is probably at some point in the round get together and do a coordinated hit.
It's also like you can kind of like be either side the bell curve of like thinking it's like so deep, because it's so many different layers of game theory. They know you can be more explosive and take more risks on the pistol round, so you're going to push, but then you might stay back because they know you're going to do that, but then they might do that. Or it's just the other side of that is just it's an eco round. Do whatever you want. As long as you do something together,
just grab the
it's
frenzy
fine.
and just go down mid. That's
what you don't want to do is die in like 9 different areas. And then
I feel like the other...
someone's like, wait, I had a timing. Why'd you die across the map, man?
I think the other big thing, especially on defense, is teams have started, like these last 2 years, done a much better job of like considering the opponent's alt orbs and the opponent's economy on their eco, dying to the spike when you need to, things like that. It's just, it lets you take more risks or not.
It's been fun to see how far this game has evolved since the day it came out till now. Very fascinating stuff here. But folks, it is almost time to jump into our matchup. So why don't we go ahead and jump over to our coaches for a little map select, find out where we're going to be playing. Let's listen in.
Alrighty, guys. Welcome. As you know, teams were decided via coin flip. C9, you're going to be Team A, and MIBR, you're going to be Team B. C9, you'll have first map ban.
Ban Breeze.
C9, ban Breeze.
We ban Lotus.
MIBR, ban Lotus. And you have first map pick.
Pick Icebox.
C9, pick Icebox. And would you like attack or defense?
Attack.
MIBR, select attack. And what map would you like?
Sunset.
MIBR, select Sunset. And would you like attack or defense?
Attack.
C9, select attack. And you have 1 map ban.
Ban Ascent.
C9, ban Ascent. And MIBR, you have 1 map ban.
We ban Bind.
MIBR, ban Bind. Deciding map's going to be split, and C9, you will have side select.
Start defense.
C9, start defense. All right, boys, best of luck today. Good luck.
All right, so you saw the layout there, Icebox, Sunset, and if necessary, we'll be taking a trip over towards Split. Not a lot to take away from it, but I gotta say, I do feel like at this point, C9, they're approaching this with a lot of confidence, and they should. Is this going to be a 2-0 win for them? Could they get that first map win?
I mean, the thing is, it should be a 2-0 win for them, right? When you look at this matchup on paper, this should be pretty lopsided. But Cloud9, the biggest issue has always been those slow starts, losing these map ones. Again, they're yet to win one this stage. And it is interesting to see them go into Icebox, because MIBR just went back. They retooled that map with the Gecko comp coming in. And I felt like their attack side looked pretty solid. But as it always has, it fell apart in that second half.
Yeah, and for Cloud9, I mean, their Icebox is no slouch either. Like, I like how they still run a Sage comp, and not a lot of teams are doing that here. And, people forget how to play against agents when they haven't played
against them. It's funny, MIBR also runs the Sage, but with, like, the new wave Gecko KO versus with the older double initiator that you see from...
Yeah, we saw Artson having some pop-off moments, for sure. Yeah. But the name of the game is, how do you shut down Oxy? Because so far, we haven't really seen MIBR fight back against star duelists that are just like taking over an entire game.
Good
so
point.
if Oxy has like a breakout performance like he usually does, I feel like it's like
who's a player
every
that
other game now.
Who's a player that you'll lean on then to, you know, like really be that tip of the spear for them?
It should be Artson, but we've already seen that when Artson does pop off, it still doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
So I'm maybe even looking at like RGL with the clutches and FRZ with the clutches. I feel like that's where it's gonna be the difference maker, is like those clutch moments here and there, and I think MIBR have to come out on top for those.
The big thing is I don't think there is a panacea here for MIBR. There's no player you look towards, there's no map you look towards. It's like a guaranteed win. We just need to see the confidence come in for this team. They have nothing to lose.
No
it's their
pressure.
last match of the stage. Just go out there and play your game.
Yeah, you know, it's going to be a slugfest, and that's exactly what we want to see. It's the final day of Stage 1. You got Cloud9 going up against MIBR. G2 versus Loud. VCT Americas starts right now.
Not wanting to, and Oxy tees off. Oh, the egg for Oxy.
Artista 4 kills. Vai buscar o Ace!
O jogo contra a Cloud9 é sempre muito divertido. A gente já encontrou eles 2 vezes esse ano. A gente ganhou uma e perdeu outra. Então eles também são caras muito legais que a gente sempre se diverte jogando contra. Eu espero que seja um jogo incrível, que a gente possa mostrar o nosso melhor, mesmo não valendo muita coisa pra gente.
Vem veneno de cobra pra cima dos jogadores, na tentativa ainda, mais um, conseguiu na eliminação. Olha só o trabalho!
MIBR, we're kind of looking at it the same way as Furia. Same region, same record. We know we just need to do what we do best and swing and fight. We know that we're better individually than basically every other team in the region.
Not wanting to, and Oxy tees off. Oh, the egg for Oxy.
Para nós é importante, mesmo sem ter chance de playoff, conseguir essa última vitória, porque por conta da pontuação, né, que também vai ser levada em consideração para poder sonhar com o Champions no final do ano. Então, apesar de não ter mais chance nessa temporada, nessa season, a gente quer esses pontinhos aí para poder ajudar no restante da caminhada.
Riot Games Arena, let's get this day started and bring out our first team. Give it up for Cloud9!
Back then they ain't noticed me, now they know it's me. I'm the chosen. It's my time, yeah, I put that on Bible. No excuses, gotta get to the final. Take all of my idols and turn them to rivals. It's all or nothing, man, the trophy is vital. Game time, bet I'm coming in clutch. No hang time, man, they can't keep up. The gang's on the line, seconds on the time. Who can't fight? It's gotta be us.
Better under pressure, go ahead and let it fall on me. I'm destined for it all, you better call on me. They say what doesn't kill you make you stronger. All that pain, it done made me to a monster. They say what doesn't kill you make you stronger.
E do outro lado, recebam os oponentes, MIBR!
Que nos revela, essência natural. Made in Brasil, original. Nós leva a vida dura, mas sempre no alto astral. Mas admito, sou brasileiro, trabalhador que faz a luta. Não desiste, merecedor dessas conquistas. Nascidos para o mundo, trago o Brasil no meu peito. Em busca das vitórias, responsa é com nós mesmos. Quando me perdi, encontrei comigo mesmo. E tirei forças, eu não sei da onde. Amigos eu ganhei, perdi, são coisas da vida. O que me dói é a minha família longe. Torcedores vaiam, outros me motivam. Vou persistir nessa longa estrada da vida. Vencer é obrigação, derrota é uma lição.
All right, a very unique matchup that we have here. For Cloud9, they win it. They get to move up a little bit in the seeding for playoffs. For MIBR, it's low pressure. If they come out with a win, it could pay off dividends for them in the overall season. But I would definitely say this is one of the more unique scenarios we ran into in Americas here, maybe.
Yeah, this match has implications for Stage 2 with that running rounds robin in terms of getting a match on the board for MIBR. But really, this is a low-stakes match that for Cloud9, I think is about gaining confidence, really hoping to get a clean win heading into playoffs. And for MIBR, it's you got nothing to lose. This is your last match before you get to take a break. Put it all out there.
Yeah, but both teams have to prove their own statement. MIBR has to prove that they're no slouch and they can actually get wins in this VCT league in general. And for Cloud9, they need to prove to everybody out there that they can win a map 1. Because if they can do that, teams will get even more afraid of what these teams or what this Cloud9 roster can do.
Going into playoffs, Cloud9 is guaranteed 2nd or 3rd seed, which means they're playing a single elimination to start. If they continue with these slow starts, there's a real chance that punishes them and costs them their chance at Shanghai.
Now's the time for you to clean up those errors, right? Make sure that you give yourself a little bit more of a buffer as you go into those high-stakes playoff scenario matches. Whereas MIBR, I totally agree with what you guys said. This is it, right? Just give yourself some grace. Just go out there and
even a map.
Pick up a map. I really think that this is, weirdly enough, the best possible situation here for MIBR because no one's expecting anything from them, given the circumstances that they find themselves in. So this could very well just be an MIBR that just feels a little bit more unlocked and more willing to take risks because ultimately, it really doesn't play that big of a role. I mean, it could play a role, but, for right now, they could just chill with this. Very fascinating situation we find ourselves in.
Absolutely. The first map we're going to go into is Icebox, where we see these teams take a pretty different approach with the comps, like we were talking about. Cloud9 is still rocking with the Sage, Sova, Killjoy comp that everyone was running last year. And MIBR is playing a comp that I've been quite a fan of, the KO Gecko, but bringing that Sage in. So you have a little bit more behind how you're playing getting that plant down, combining that wall with your wingman, having slow orbs on your execs and your retakes. I actually thought the macro was pretty good. The real issue for MIBR has always been this micro and how things fall apart in the late games. As we hop into Agent Select, though, unlikely to get a change.
Well, I was going to ask just about that Sage in particular. It's like, what could be some of the pitfalls there for this particular Asian in this composition that could maybe hold MIBR back potentially?
I feel like we saw them struggle on the defensive side quite a bit with the Sage. I feel like Artson wasn't really getting as much value as he could from it. Whereas on the opposite side for Cloud9, Zeppa had really good timings on walls, especially against Loud. And these were decisions that are made on the fly, too, which is the most impressive to me. Because he didn't have set stuff that he was really doing, Zeppa, I'm referring to, by the way. And he was able to use the wall according to how the enemy team was playing the rounds. And it got them so much value. If there was a mid-split coming in, he would wall off one of the sides they get split from, and that way everybody has a crossfire on the other side. It was really a wonder to watch.
Yeah, the biggest trade-off is giving up that Jet, an agent that is so good at having verticality, at really fighting forward on your A site, on defense, and also having that offer who can really get in these forward off angles and punish teams who aren't clearing that properly. But I really think the trade-offs are worth it with this Sage comp. If you're playing your macro correctly, it gives you so many more options on your executes, so many options on the way you're flooding into the defense, but you can't play as aggro as with the Jet comp.
Yeah, and on paper, this no duelist comp, I feel like it kind of gets the best of the singular duelist.
Well, we'll see if it plays out for MIBR. Can Cloud9 get that first map win, or will MIBR find their first map win of the stage? Let's go ahead and send it over to your casters for this one. You got the dynamic duo of Vansili and Rivington.
Thank you so much, GB. Indeed, it's loud right here in the Riot Games Arena. We have a fun game in our hands today because, again, they talked about at the desk here, Riv. There's not too much at stake in terms of pressure of trying to get the playoffs or whatnot, but getting those championship points are still important here for both of these teams.
Want all the points. Give me some points. I want some points. We haven't gotten any of these yet. But no, getting into Icebox here, we know C9 feel comfortable. They know what they're going to get out of this composition from MIBR. So it could go either way with C9. A little bit on the favorite here as they're just kind of vibing through, feeling out the rest of these games to make sure everything feels good for the road ahead. MIBR as well, get themselves situated for the road to come.
Exactly. When you have to prepare as well for Stage 2, you're also trying to get points in your record for trying to make the Stage 2 playoffs, right? Because this is a whole season you're going through here in 2024.
That counts.
Enough about this. Let's look inside the game as Icebox is about to start C9 on defense, MIBR on the attack. As they're playing this no duelist combination, it also allows them to get potentially some safer plants as well because they have this Sage in this composition. So they're going to be able to scale a little bit more as a team. an inch forward here, but at the beginning of this round, Riv, it's very, very slow. Slow default here towards the spawn.
All this util over and over, cycle it back. The Death said, you said, they don't have the duelist. They have to go in on this util or a contact play. So you're going to see a lot of teamwork here within the strategies they put up. A little teamwork to get a quick peek on Oxy there as they both swing out and insert RGL Meister just at long for now. Mid push to see if anybody else is lurking around the defensive side for C9 here. Sheriff there for Oxy. Hopefully able to fire back now that he's healed up a bit.
Big responsibility on Moose here with the util that he's gotten, watching both the boiler side and under tube. And with the alarm bot going off, that sounds the alarm for the players of C9 are falling back towards the spawn on the B site and getting 3 picks of their own. Leaving only 2 alive now for MIBR in his pistol. No spike plant going down. And FRZ, he's stuck in a rock.
30 seconds left.
Between a rock and a hard place, and it's walled up everywhere as well. Trying to play the long distance against Rooney, but a great start for C9.
Yeah, C9 pulling it, only losing Oxy. Do they get the Sheriff? They didn't actually grab it before the round over. Not a problem. MIBR, I like the strategy until Wingman continued to go to undernest the plant. If they had just planted on their side, that's not taken out by Sova in sight. Rooney doesn't get the kill on Wingman, and then MIBR is not forced to scatter as much.
It is done.
Let's get 12.
That did not sound like Taylor Swift. I'm a karaoke buff myself, and that was definitely not it. I think that was a weekend.
Welcome to the off-key channel. They're going to be pushing over towards A now. C9 playing it slow, ready to just absorb MIBR here, and they know it's not going to be explosive onto site, so there's a little bit of time to get this util prepped and start firing back as Moose finds one straight down off a boiler in mid.
And already look at that, lots of players are heavily damaged too as they're trying to scale out towards this A site. Easy ADSing for Vanity. And Artazine and RGL Meister will have to group up together and hopefully at least try to get this plant down.
1 enemy remaining.
At least silver lining, Artazine is able to save his wall in the next round when they have weapons to come out with for MIBR.
Almost weird seeing Rooney without a Sheriff, honestly. But 2 ghost kills there. Bulldog picked up from the fall of Vanity. After he had a nice 3K himself, so all Dorbs are building really nice on Rooney and Vanity here. Oh, little turret nutmeg there. Very nicely done.
An extra obstacle.
1 enemy remaining.
Probably hard to see at first glance too, so you get a quick moment on your opponent as they are peeking in the first place. All right. 2-1-2, just pretty much a default here to get out onto the bonus round and feel out the map for MIBR. I feel like we should expect to see a lot of those insert strats, and then they move a little bit more. It's not just a death ball here. Because they don't have a lot of knowledge and control on the map, they have to be clearing spaces or sticking together quite a bit here.
Now you're playing a chess match too on the conditioning that Moose has been doing with that turret on Boiler. You're forcing out an early nanoswarm out of MIBR. That's 1 less for the plant as they're trying to work towards this B site. Wall coming up with a Dizzy too. It looks like C9's comfortable playing the retake. There's only 1 player playing towards this B site, and that's Vanity. Trying to play the delay. Behind his wall is a Viper. Here's all the footsteps towards the back. And Moose is actually able to move forward. They don't really need help yet. The crossfire is set up to drop 3. Spike planet for the attack site though. And the wall is up towards the spawn. Dash already activated. Getting ready for Oxy to move in. Not even needed either. Moose and Vanity are keeping this middle and B site on lock.
People getting incredibly comfortable with the Bulldog lately. We're just seeing a lot of these purchases stay, have an impact. Upgrade now coming in from C9 comfortably onto MIBR. And I like the strat from MIBR. Usually where you'd see a harbor wall go up, they put the Sage wall, right?
Yeah.
Just to push forward a bit. And I like that movement from them.
Wait, this is too easy.
Okay, they give it up. They give it up. Hold up. Hold up. I'm going to sleep.
Oh, no. Oh no! All right, if they're vibing like that, and it's just the bonus. We'll see what MIBR is in for here. A few buys on MIBR side. It's going to be so tough for them to work the map. If C9's feeling this confident, they're going to be pushing on their angles and covering each other for these plays. Already pushed up to nest here on pipes.
Yeah.
A very good ping too.
Somehow getting 3 pings off a simple recon dart towards the back of that A site. As they were getting ready for it, Oxy procced up his dash and was trying to find some early aggression.
Okay.
Early flank as well, gets punished. Heal comes up from Artazine.
which allows now MRBR to pull back for a bit, leaving FRZ in a forward position. Oxy swinging out, being the shots, and swings out for the kill confirm.
Yeah.
That ties it up on a 4-4.
Quick jiggle there. You see Cloud9 is considering MIBR is playing this leave the breadcrumb strat every so often to get info. Now the hit on the B, easy rotation for C9 to call and read this. Is the words from Moose that are going to pull everybody over.
Yeah. Delayed a bit too with a dinosaur. Nice underhand flash though, but too many bodies of C9. Not even a chance to go for a plant.
You saw the slight, just maybe a second and a half between the flash and the dizzy. I mean, it probably wouldn't have changed too much with how C9 was set up, but those things do matter. You can turn the flash, get back around for the dizzy. You're supposed to nullify that by throwing them both at the same time. So 5 rounds possibly now. We're 4-0. And a possible 5th round here as we watch this clean up at Snowman.
You saw this wall that went towards that B side too. It was an audible call for the IGL2 for MIBR. They lost FRZ so early on that A side. They were thinking, okay, C9's adding more pressure towards A, less extremity on the B. We can push towards the spawn for that control. But didn't pan out in their favor. C9 doing a good job on these rotates. Great delays too from the Cell utility. And now in this round number 5, already an early op coming out for Oxy.
Crazy stuff. They're feeling so good. And he stayed with the Sheriff and low buys throughout the other rounds too. So really building up the economy, the team. I mean, Moose has 7,000, 8,000 as well. MIBR has a very big mountain to climb to tear through this economy, as well as these sites. They haven't found an answer yet, and they still don't have one.
It's too easy. He doesn't even need to lean out, waiting for the players to walk forward and not check the corners, and that capitalizes to 3 kills for Cloud9. And for the last 2 with a minute left. And keeping the economy up would be kind of nice here if they could save these 2 weapons. Especially when the Dizzy's just been used. They have no other utility to try to clear out towards the site. At least they have that pendulum swing that allows RGL to get that pick onto Rooney. But that op is still in the back of that site, in the hands of Oxy. He's ready to land those shots.
And he does.
Spike planted.
Right through the crosshair on his first peek around the corner after dropping rafters, and now they hunt RGL for the defuse.
Yeah, op on one end, rifles on both. The other side for Moose and Vanity, trying to play the high-low. Wall coming up to tap that spike. Now with that snake bite, that's confirmed that RGL is playing towards the orb. Now being hunted down, couldn't connect that shot onto Moose as he gets hunted down by Oxy, who switched over to a Vandal even to get that kill. So they're continuing to allow the young fragger to pick up these kills.
And Bladestorm online there, just using the arsenal that's around them. And we'll watch the replay here, but if we take stock of what MIBR is trying to get through, they don't have the chance to really play verticality here, moving into sight, unless they jungle gym on the rope or try to blast up on pipes. It's just Oxy and the crew have so much control, knowing MIBR basically have to walk and crawl everywhere.
Did you see that? Oxy took a swig and it was actually somebody else's name, and then Rooney took one and it was Oxy's water. Imagine if Oxy was drinking his own water. Probably pop off even more.
You never know. Maybe we won't. All right, timeout for MIBR. We got some ultimates on deck. Thrash is there right now. Mazine's KO null command is going to be coming up. They have some options here if they can focus the orbs, but it's the map control, right? We just talked about it. Not being able to play fast elevation into A. C9 doesn't have to worry about much. They're not sweating about these hits. They're just waiting for MIBR to walk in, as we would expect this team to play contact or right off that util they have. But they're just looking for C9, and I don't think they have a clue of how they're trying, or how they are defending right now, and how they're moving against MIBR on the backside of the map.
Well, one positive thing is that at least they're able to get some plants here on their attack side, and when they're trying to play the surprise and push even further towards the back of the B site, for example, that's where they're getting caught. So I think they're realizing too that C9's play more passively when they're losing that player on that experiment on the B site, and they like to play the retake too. It allows here for this type of lineup for MIBR to play these post-plant lineups as well. You know, you don't have the shock darts, but you still have a mosh from this Gecko. This might be an opportunity for them to work that map a little bit more and be good on those trades that they were pretty decent for in this first half for MIBR, and play that post-plant game from a distance.
All right, Rooney up the gut with the Hunter's Fury. Does not find anything. We're still not getting lurk from MIBR just yet. Could be possible towards mid, at least for Moose to see, but that's something MIBR has to think about. Show yourself in a few places. Let C9 know you're interested in areas they'll have to still cover. They'll have to put their members to guard that area, and that's how you might be able to find a soft site. We still get FRZ slowly moving through mid here, and this could be the kingpin of it if he starts to hear rotations, but C9's anchor. They're not moving.
Yeah.
MIBR is going to get the soft site, and we'll see if the rotation can be picking up big enough from C9 here.
It's all on Vanity right now. He's got a jump spot from Yellow. Here's the Dizzy. And he's actually going to stand his ground. Trying to delay a lot more here with Snakebite so his teammates can rotate. Finally pulls the orb up as he finally realizes there's a little bit more pressure coming out from MIBR here.
Oh yeah! Monster on the loose!
30 seconds
Very
left.
nicely done. Gets up on rope. No chance to get hit by Thrash here as he denies that hit with the one-way. But this is a good push.
Wall up from Artizine was trying to grab him.
The dance!
But Vanity dodges away and gets the headshot, winning that fight 1-1. Also cancels up the wingman plan. 13 seconds left on the clock. Now MIBR has to commit to try to at least pick up that spike and get it down. So that's one player left to cover. One player left to plant. And then no players left alive for MIBR as C9, once again, too good on the defense.
Vanity, tell me that he's not playing inside his opponent's head after that. Gets out of the way of Thrash, then understands he's getting pushed with the slight hit of the rope after the wall comes up and goes for the fight still on the exit. Incredible stuff. C9 are already here after that Vanity delay to hit MIBR. So no, it was not enough just to have somebody mid, just to have that first poke towards A. C9 still recuperate, recover the round. Crazy stuff so far. The ultimates here by MIBR. If they can crash the site, Viper's Pit goes down. But there's a lot of C9 utility that can counter that too with Sova coming back in here.
There's my buddy.
So it's orbs grabbed, getting things back online, and we go back to MIBR. Deathball is working. The map did not work.
So that was what we're trying to see here. Micro scaling is what I was trying to call this with the Dizzy going close range. Now the KO ult allowing here MIBR to push forward once they take control of this green side rather. You hear this lockdown coming down as well. On the attack for MIBR, just trying to get this plant down. Will be successful, as also this lockdown counters that pit that was placed down by Vanity.
Not too much grabbed here, but it's a little extra space. They can move up from Snowman to Nest. MIBR's set in pretty good on this defense.
Very good, actually. Alarm bot too close to that spike inside that pit as it's pulled up now by MIBR. They hear the upshot coming through. He couldn't pull out his weapon on time. An opportunity now for MIBR to capitalize as the wall comes up. Nice shots coming through, and finally, MIBR score.
There it is. It took a few ultimates. It took a bit more. They do go back to a B hit for this one, but they get that round. If we remember back to, I believe it was G2, it was a 13-9 in favor of G2. But yeah, MIBR was there. They were getting rounds. They were still fighting with this same composition that they've been struggling to get rounds against C9 here. So maybe finding a groove for MIBR at this point. Never too late for the first half to get a few in. Especially now, because if you consider what this composition is going to be able to do once they get on the defensive side, I mean, they could be able to shut down C9 left and right if they're playing it correct.
Took a lot, though, right? Three ults to get into a site, to play the pulse plant with that, but you'll take anything you can right now for MIBR to at least give some sort of confidence against C9 on C9's map pick. Here on Icebox, where MIBR started a little bit of pressure on this A site to start, but now grouping up all 5 players towards B. One thing, another positive thing right now for MIBR is they consistently have control of this B-side orb. And that could be something that allows here GZZ to get a thrash up in the next few rounds.
Always. Give him the plant too, another orb, keep it rolling. Vanity in a tight spot.
Nanoswarm to help him out too. It looks like Mazine was able to fall back just on time, and there's that push forward.
Spike down.
Beautiful on those fundamentals for MIBR to get those trades to start in control of the B site.
Bomb grenade out.
There's that plant. Nice wall up coming through by Artizine. C9 will have to try to play the retake. The res allows here MIBR to get a 2-player advantage. Walls being broken up just to clear out the path for C9 to start fighting. making sure that there's nobody hiding in those tight corners. And look at that, with that plant, JZZ is also able to get that Thrash up and ready. And that's going to help MIBR to delay even more. Shots from the spawn, wall is up. Great delays coming through from MIBR. This might be it for C9. Again,
we get a save.
That Thrash is a last resort, so you're just trying to make it expensive pretty much in the end for C9. You have still a little bit of money to work with. You're trying to fight a bit more, trying to pat the stats. 4 kills for Moose, lockdown available for the next. But at least we will not see a 7-1 scoreline.
We will not. That's true. And we also get another B strat from MIBR. Like you said, kind of micro encroaching on the site, getting themselves up, scaling that is, into positions with the utility first. Pick it up, you're going to be grabbing orb anyways. That gives you time to dizzy refresh, and then you hit site. And as you mentioned too, Thrash is back up because of this JZZ alt orb focus, and you should be doing that on every map. Just feed your Gecko everything you can, because it's a rinse and repeat with the utility and the orbs. So they're back to A. Maybe they try to get a little conditioning. No, I was going to say they leave RGL, but he walks away right at the start of the round. So they play towards A, quick dizzies, quick hits. This doesn't mean it can't end B. That's just where they felt comfortable on the side of MIBR. But this Thrash may lock them into A.
Still good read so far from MIBR, always positioning on the weak side first. C9 positioning players on the B side to start with 3 players out there, and there's only the KJ util on the A side that doesn't delay enough. Until this lockdown comes out. Plant will still come down for JZZ's wingman. He's gonna try to hold here the pulse plant. Artazine delaying even more with that slow orb. Doesn't matter that he gets detained here. Actually, Oxy's pretty close. Runs it down, scopes in, and connects the shot. Now already the Thrash comes out. You do have Oxy being detained, but his players are right behind him. Now the turret from the spawn to swing from the back.
RGL.
And Moose gets picked off by RGL. Counterwall coming through to allow the defense to get the defuse, or allow to at least the attempt at the defuse. It's halfway defused now. Off it. RGL still inside the site. Only Oxy left on a 1 versus 3. On the top rope. Gets the majority kill, but then dashes away as is too late here for C9 to go for the defuse. At least 9 fadeaway shots. But MIBR now are able to string a lot of rounds in a row.
Okay, so a great hit by MIBR, but if we think of the history that led up to this, we said C9 had so much money. We were talking about some had 8,000, some had 7,000, but these last few rounds, MIBR has been doing a lot of damage, getting that money down. Here, since they had buys for each other on C9, it was only Rooney coming in with the Sheriff, operators for Oxy, rifles for the others, so it was a little disjointed in what they were able to retake and protect the site with. MIBR is gaining a little bit of an advantage, and they are finding a way through C9's defense now. Really nice there to switch it up after 3 strong B rounds. To have that comfortable of an A hit, it's going to come out with a timeout now from C9.
Maybe a little bit quieter on that camp as well. They were feeling the vibes at the beginning, but they're starting to press on the brakes, realizing here that MIBR potentially has found some sort of solution to work the map a little bit better in their favor on the attack side.
Yeah.
And here it's potentially trying to get some success out of that op that it saved on that previous round, maybe buy around that at the same time, and see how they can maximize the early control here that MIBR is currently taking towards these extremities. They're not really trying to split as much anymore. They're not really trying to fight or break the util that Moose has been placing at the beginning of these rounds on Boiler and Under 2. They're really fighting for these extremities, and I think they're trying to find maybe a way to get Oxy a little bit more forward.
Yeah, and MIBR to avoid Oxy. The faster they hit a site and get rooted in the site, it's harder for Oxy to get on the lines that are going to find the shots to retake that site. Nice little position here. You see this actually played quite a bit if a Gecko is to come out and throw Dizzy there. It rings, but it doesn't necessarily hit the jet if they're on a specific spot of yellow. So a neat little spot to play and avoid that util first hit.
There you go. Nice little first shot there by Oxy. It was actually Vanity that was inserted a little bit more forward towards green. Connects with 2 kills. Dancing across once again, winning that fight against Artazine, and finally gets avenged by FRZ. But he once again stands alone. And Oxy has the line on that spike. FRZ also hears that there's players flanking behind him, and it's the Yellow Drone that's going to spot him. Broken now, double swing coming through from both Zeppa and Rooney. The wall boost. Nice shots for FRZ. Overcooking that peak. And it gives a chance now for FRZ to fight back. He has lockdown. He has the shots, but doesn't have the angle. Oxy is able to save that for Cloud9.
Nice, though. There's got to be a consolation prize for that. That was cool. Give him the spider ring or something. I don't know. 7-3. Little tricky play on a wall boost. But yeah, no Dizzy to have to fend off. Just the shots here of Oxy and Vanity have already been having a fantastic game.
Come on, Los. You ready? 3, 2, come. For me.
The focus. And then we never saw them wall again.
Yeah, Amy is like, what are you doing, guys?
Going towards A. So just a repeat of a few rounds ago. The quick Dizzy to gain this first portion of pipes. And we might get a rotation already from Vanity leaving the site. Shot from Oxy to start him off.
Reads are good on the defensive side to get the op at the right spot at the beginning. Oh, that just give the haircut there to GZZ. Thankfully, his hair is already short. MIBR puts the lockdown towards that A site, and the plant will be safe for Jenny.
How far do they go? Oh, they wall lock screens. Nice.
Nice lurk. RGL on top of the window. ADSing down. Vanity falls. And now the responsibility is going to be on Moose to try to fight him. Playing under that tube while delays are happening towards the A site for MIBR. There's that backstab, and this gives a chance now for for C9 rather, to start flooding back within the A site. Owl Drone trying to clear towards that back. Tough, tight angle being held by FRZ and JZZ, but they both get denied. There's only Artazine left. 54 HP, wall bang by Zeppa, and a clean retake for C9 to get 8 on the board.
They play it back. A little further back this time. They let MIBR have the site without losing anybody, having all the util. Operator picked up for Oxy there, and C9 stave off, losing another round on that. MIBR, like we said, getting any rounds here, more than 3 maybe is going to be best, but 3 could really make trouble for C9 here.
Let's go. One more. Grab it. Good round, Francis. Thank you.
Got this. One more. And that's all MIBR is feeling. If they can get one more here, they could be sitting pretty for that defensive side.
On the other side. Right
They're going to be walking right into Oxy's operator again as they head towards B.
Pretty much Opsies at this point. He's landing no shots.
Opsy shotsies. Here we go.
Never needed the Blade Storm either.
Yeah.
And lands another one onto JZZ once again. And that's Wingman down, no res available, and no Wingman plant. MIBR once again have to fully commit within the site to try to get the plant. Hunter's Fury out from the spawn from Rooney. Gets the tag onto FRZ. So they identify one player inside the tube, and everything that MIBR is currently trying to do on winning at least some sort of fight is getting fully denied. Not a crumb, finally a shot and a second from Artazine. But as he swings back towards middle, an ADS from Rooney was ready to meet him with a bullet between the eyes. C9 get the half, and they win it 9-3.
Feeling good. They're all smiles right now coming out of that one. The few rounds they did lose, doing some silly things around the board, but also enjoying the time. Oxy just seems to be online and coming into a kind of playoff status position. You want to see this guy flying higher than ever.
Damn!
Okay.
I just get exterminated?
Nice.
At least that's one thing there. Some good shots coming through from MIBR, but let's throw it back to the desk to see what they have to say.
Thank you so much for that, fellas. Well, one thing for certain is Oxy's having a hell of a time out there.
Yep.
He's enjoying
himself. He's the win condition, and he's vibing.
Yeah, in more ways than one, as a matter of fact, because we do have some clips of him. Yeah. The boys just singing karaoke on the stage.
May have worked.
Yeah,
you were actually so real with, going out there. I mean, Zeppa's saying they're playing karaoke, singing karaoke.
Yes.
Is it the karaoke or is it the trains? That's the question.
Could be a little both.
Could be the grass that they went outside and touched.
Look at this guy. His energy is so infectious. If he's your teammate, he's playing like he is, and he's singing like
Singing
that
The Weeknd?
every round. You can't not just feel great. Cloud9 fuels off this guy, and when he's playing like this, almost 400 ACS, they're at their best.
Yeah, I mean, I said it. MIBR needed to shut him down if they wanted any chance, and there's just no shot so far, and If you give a kid like this confidence and he can like basically taste blood in the water and he knows that he can just peek anything he wants and outshoot you, this is gonna happen to you. And
also considering
it's not just him though. It's any duelist that is like him will destroy you.
Yeah, and considering too that MIBR, like some of their plans, like some of them have been working, but then other ones have just been out of sorts, right? Like they're clear.
I think they came in with a really similar game plan on their attack to what we saw last week, and they're getting countered out by the same things. Those deep B hits in particular. I think Cloud9 always knew that was coming, was ready to fight back in. They do a great job of calming who's going to turn the KO flash, who's going to break the Gecko flash, and they absolutely have been eviscerating 9-3. This is their game to win.
Yeah, this is a very difficult situation for MIBR to find themselves in. Great, though, if you are a Cloud9 fan and if you happen to be a fan of Oxy singing. So I guess it all works out for you. But in any case, so let's send it back over to Vansili and Rivington for the call.
Thank you so much, friends. And indeed, we're going into the second half now where what I like, again, to reiterate what I saw from the first half, if I want to give some sort of positive end for MIBR, is that they're still able to land good shots under the pressure. So if we're overcommitting for C9, this is a chance for MIBR to start punishing, especially with this comp, where now on the defensive side, they could delay a lot more. But GZZ's looking to walk out. A pop flash, that's beautiful. But Zeppa's just right there.
We trade one. We consider the trades though, right? MIBR loses Gecko, KJ down on one side for the attack, and even more as they trade towards Kitchen.
Playing in tandem. The buddy system is actually quite good for both of these teams to start this pistol out. As Vanity is looking to walk forward, just around the corner, tucked in the wall, Artisan with the right-click classic.
Yeah, the little things, the protocols MIBR might be able to do with this comp, the flashes doubling up, being able to hit a lot of attacks. Could throw C9 off, but nice double play here by Rooney and Zeppa. Should get them to the site for this 2v2.
A little bit of overcommitment there from that Artisan push. Now trying to break util, making sure nothing's on that B side. Allows for a safe plant to happen. No, maybe not. Off the spike, and it's going to be both players dropping in from the top of B. MIBR actually gets the pistol in the second half.
All right, they get a bit of momentum. We know how much that means here. So C9 probably play it safe. No, Rooney goes for the Sheriff. Of course. I've been wondering, there's so many ghosts for him this year. Of course you're going to go for the Sheriff. The 3 Bulldogs of Vandal for FRZ here after those last few frags. And it's going to be enough money to make them keep them happy and keep them on a rifle for the second round. All right, walls placed. See, that keeps consistent. Probably will towards B. As they still want mid. C9 want the info of mid before they really work the map here to see if MIBR is trying to do anything tricky.
That's the second time here that C9's committed towards mid control. Sneaking Oxy through before, and now losing Rooney in the process. Oxy still once again snuck past the defense. Looks into the wrong corner though. Arzine's able to punish that. Gonna make things a little bit more difficult now for C9 to work that map, as those 2 shares that invested in are actually both lost. And too far to recover.
Yeah, Oxy was cruising. I don't think Long B was felt safe enough to push up just yet. We see him back there by the box. And now our team just makes the call. Still, MIBR feels safe in the anchors, but they may have to move now.
I'm out.
Took a bit of shots there, but still connects it. Not too bad, staying alive. Receiving 0 damage, almost 0 damage on his end. Dizzy to find some info, and Artisan swings with it. He's gonna fight forward with this Spectre.
Spike down.
Not many chances for the last player standing. A nice fall is for MIBR to convert from that pistol.
Super comfortable play. I mean, you got FRZ sitting back in spawn just on the left side near Snowman, but not leaving turret range. So had somebody that can lean to both sides, even if any problem did arise. Really good control this round by MIBR. And a good read on C9. Wanting mid, slow pushing out towards the B side. See if they can keep that strat book going. Just Oxy and Rooney are on the low armor.
Make it happen.
Hopefully they just don't meet Artzine so we can use this Spectre on them. They play. They have a ping towards Kitchen right now. Not sure what that's for. We'll have to see if C9 starts to go that way or consider that's where the Killjoy utility might be. But MIBR are going to just wait with this power trio here on the right side towards screens.
Force suppressed.
Ooh, I'd say that's pretty good. That's good knowledge.
Lots of info.
That's good knowledge.
Lots of info, and not seeing the Viper 2 with close to a minute left. He think that Probably Vanity's lurking somewhere across the map, so they're trying to find him. They have 2 players rotating outside from MIBR to look down towards the middle and clear out towards Boiler, while the rest of C9 are working in the front of that A site. Contact comes through, the wall comes up, being broken down by Cloud9. Artazine still remains on top of it, now pinged out by the recon dart thrown by Rooney. Oxy with a dash, gets the kill and gets away safely as they'll work together now on the left side of the site. Big flash coming through to delay even more, to allow the rest of MIBR to rotate over and stack up in this area, and still keeping one player pointed towards this B site because of that fear of that lurk. Little do they know, though, all of C9 are grouped together to hit this A site.
30 seconds left.
It's just Molly util game right now. It's so hard for these teams to just break this line of scrimmage.
With the wall coming back up too, there's only 18 seconds left on the clock now. The gun battles will start with these shots coming through from MIBR. Nice one on GCC as well. It's back to a 2 versus 1. Make that a 1v1. Tap on that spike. The lean out the ADS, and he misses the shot. FRZ's low in HP. Committed to the plant is Rooney. Out the window. FRZ gets the pick. And what a round in a hole by MIBR.
The 5 HP lock-in for FRZ plays it high into the nest, and what a great delay from MIBR. Even after they lost Artsine on that wall, when we saw Oxy push in, there was still so much util, so unsure from C9 if they could be getting in. And then the fight explodes, leaving these 2 alive, and FRZ comes out on top. MIBR know exactly what they need to do with this composition. They're not peeking out. They're not giving themselves up on lines to C9. They are using the defensive utility really well. So they get the bonus. That's huge. Like we said, their defensive side could strike back hard. 3 rounds and they got them tied. In this round, they will have C9 on a low buy.
Low buy, Thrash available. Everything's in the cards for them to once again string some rounds starting off on their defensive half. Lots of pressure now onto C9 and the responsibility onto Oxy, trying to open it up with the Sheriff in hand, but it's loose on the top of the pipes. RGL was there to green him right back and avenge his teammate. 4 versus 4 situation. Recon darts, good info being taken by C9. Wall coming up as they're trying to fight towards the back, but it's being held very well by RGL. Oof. There's that Rooney, the Sheriff that comes into play. I don't even know if he has a Guardian, if he knows he has a Guardian in his hands, and maybe he doesn't even care. Good with this weapon. There's that shot, but there was another player just behind. Artazine with the pick, and that's a great half by at least there for C9 to hurt the economy of MIBR.
Yeah, taking down 4 members here. You can see it is 7,600 on the scoreboard that we can look at right now for Artazine. So I'll have a buy as we check out the replay one more time. If it is a peak, it's traded, and I think that's big right now for MIBR. They're having a good buddy system in place to make sure C9 cannot get away scot-free with any of these kills. Hunter's Fury, Rooney looking for a tag here. Maybe a post-plant focus if it's going to be Moose's. They have a lot of ultimates that could be coming online very soon here, but so does MIBR, as we see that right up the gut, Hunter's Fury.
Fortunately, once again, does not get any pings, but at least it confirms that a lot of these angles are on the backside. A side is actually given up here by MIBR. They'll get the plant down with the lockdown. It's very similar to what MIBR did with the amount of ults that they had here on their B side take on the attack. Now the thing is, these 4 positions get denied by that Thrash. Nice underhand flash, keeping Oxy behind. Thrash trying to find information at the top of heaven. Oxy has 2 picks before he gets detained. But there's the res that comes up, a nice bait to come through, allowing aggression of MIBR back within the A site. Sepa now waiting in front of 410. Flash coming up, he's half blinded. Now still trying to get that shot, but can't connect up to Mazine. It's a 3 versus 4 disadvantage for C9, trying to delay this clock down. Fight towards the left side, Nanosword towards the front. Artazine trying to fight forward as well as Vanity gets the pick. But the flash shots are still coming through from MIBR. There's only 1 player left, trying to dance around and trying to run the clock down, and Vanity's able to do it. No time left on the clock. Vanity swings out of confidence, but it will still be C9 that takes the round.
Whoa, the C9 with a really quick hit, knowing they had the ultimates there and encroaching just enough, pushing the screens that MIBR had a big fumble on the way in. RGL had util out. They went to peek and he's just running in there. That's supposed to be the other swing. That's the disjointed part of this one that just did not work for MIBR. Vanity wastes the rest of the time.
That guy went from heaven to clear screens, and I still got to.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man.
Vibes are still up. I was wrong. Vibes are still up. But yeah, that swing out, that run out, that was also because they wanted to leverage that ult too, to make sure they could fight forward and aggressively for MIBR. But all of that, very well done by Vanity towards the end to save that round for Cloud9.
All right, 10-7. C9 keep the breathing room, and they slow that momentum down after hemorrhaging a few too many rounds in their thought. So now they have Vanity still watching the flank. A B push here to come in with this little bit of a death ball, but always util first here to feed Oxy. They have up to yellow, pretty safe. Nice one-way delay. We saw how effective this was when Vanity used it on defense. And now C9 has to work through this Viper util just to get the plan.
Wall up two, a little bit of delays coming across, but we're just trying to get a safe plant now. Still in a decent spot to cover it from the B main. Is this plant that you currently see? A high-low on top of that wall. Oxy again trying to find info. He spots two actually. Mazine towards the snowman.
Oh, fights on two fronts right now.
Oxy was able to avoid that dizzy to actually allow to get all these shots from a classic. Keep that in your hands. You don't need the knives. FRZ, solo player, heard on the rotate on middle. It looks like C9 do not want to give a chance here for FRZ to save his weapon. 32 HP left, and Oxy gets the third in the round and the 11th for Cloud9.
I think you can add a few to Mimi's classic stat there that she wants to check out for this after the bundles came out. What in the world? Incredible stuff. Yeah, definitely a lot of vibes going on if you see that happening, and all this backup still coming in for Oxy as the team moves forward. Triple kill there for the young one. And he's feeling good.
Correct.
What's going on?
I missed all my knives, but I classic killed 3 too.
It'd be like that sometimes.
Yeah.
All right, round 19. Just one off a game point here for C9.
24 kills so far for Oxy on this matchup.
Crazy.
And speaking of him, in his POV, trying to find an entry, knows that there's one on the top of the net. Beautiful flash, allowing your JC to stay back and potentially even make it out. Unfortunately, he falls. Zeppa getting a res onto Rooney, giving it once again a man advantage for Cloud9. But the two players left for MIBR, they still have great ults to work with here between FRZ and RGL Meister.
Slow work towards mid, and could reset something here for C9 if Moose can get good positioning. He will get hit by turret, but maybe that activation on turret draws enough attention away for just a moment.
Too far from it. All of it recalled as well, so Moose is able to sneak through.
No way.
Oh, and that recon dart. So they heard one player towards the back of the spawn, and Moose is going on the hunt to take him down. Connects that shot. Now they'll have to book it here for RGL, and as he's running across, he might get hurt if he makes an extra step. Here's the rappel across, the orb being picked up. And now he's trying to find that timing on the backstab.
They've reset their timing too. Just turning around.
Oh no, they walled Rooney off. So yeah, he's pretty much in a one and done. At least he'll find the information here if he loses that fight. But will he? He will. Guardian shot right in the cranium. Another tight angle held by Zeppa just by 410. And Cloud9 are now at map point.
Definitely having to call an audible on a few of these rounds, but never fully feeling pressured, I feel. C9 looking like they've been in control here the first few rounds, coming off of the fact that MIBR gets pistol, but they have an answer. They understand that the shelf life of each thing they've seen from MIBR is only going to be a few rounds.
God damn. These are some of the most interesting players I've ever played.
He meant that in a good way, right? Because they're hot on the shots.
Yes. Interesting. All right, MIBR timeout. They're going to talk about the next strat that will boggle the mind of Vanity, as it were. The Guardians there for MIBR, as well as a Vandal and 2 Bulldogs. Ultimates to be used. A lot of times we'll see a coach come in when those ults can change the round. You can go at your opponent's throat for one and make sure you have the advantages necessary to start locking in that momentum again. I don't know, C9's going to worry too much. They should probably just play their own game here, get the site alt down. Nobody really on deck to grab an orb, so they're going to be always moving forward, if not just denying those orbs. Vanity's over towards B, usually been top of spawn. to be that flank watch, but they're still roaming about.
Yeah.
They moved the KJ utility over, though, on MIBR side. I was wondering what would come of this timeout, and they are going to switch up a bit of the molly placement just so they can have some more delay.
He was just repositioning so he could get his orb towards middle.
Yeah.
So from the looks of it, it's potentially a default to start things off on a 3-2, but RGL wants to pull out a pit very early with a knife to help him out. That gets a lot of information now that there's players in that radius and that there were players from C9 committed to try to fight towards B main to start. And that gets fully denied, allowing here for MIBR to get ready for a potential hit towards A. So they still have a stronghold here on a 2-2 setup from 2 middle and 2 on A side, but lots of hesitation. As you can see, it's all jump spots all around so far if you're looking at that radar.
I mean, Artsine right now sees somebody, slows. Okay. We take those every day. And Zeppa as well. A lot of damage.
These guys should just keep Guardians the whole time.
Seriously.
And Zeppa forced to self-heal now, which is going to give less HP as he's a Sage player. Only at 50 in the fight towards the front. Artazine was trying to peek aggressively, and Vanity was able to catch him off guard. Pit also available, but not too sure if he wants to use it here. Too many ults that are too strong to counter against his. And even util doesn't allow for him to get the plant down towards the A site. And MIBR is repositioning now just to play the ults in a time and the numbers in their favor.
A little plant, a little poke to see if anybody peeks. Zeppa going real far for that one before they go for another one. Lockdown in, and they'll get a nice plant on this.
12 seconds left. Running back now towards jail. There's a little pocket in that corner. I'm not too sure there's going to be a lineup for it. RGL's a little bit too far even for snake bites to decay. Lots of util left and right. But the nanoswarm's too far away from that spike, which allows you for a plant or defuse to start. It's halfway through. Moose realizes that it's too late. He's going to try to save behind and save his weapon. And he'll get it.
Timeout pays off. We're coming up to that other score. We said last time MIBR had this on Icebox against G2, it was 13-9. Coming very close to that as they start to bring a few more ultimates in that could matter. Check this replay one more time. And yeah, smart play, right place, right time. And smoke goes up. That's the hot spot to start shooting, right? That or a few seconds after when they might start trolling through the smoke. So just playing off the fundamentals right now, and MIBR is finding these first few frags to get them through the round. A nice retake puts us at 12-8. No Viper's Pit to deny C9 from B long control this time. Right back to it to see if that's where they can find their first fight and map control. Way less of a flank watch too here. There's nobody on the backside. This could give MIBR a lot of room, but they've been so timid. C9 doesn't even need that flank anymore. They're going for just the win.
And the knife also spotted all 5 players at the beginning here for Cloud9. So MIBR has power of numbers here on this site to try to play for trades. Shots are connected to start for MIBR, and they're trying to keep it continuous, but it's Zeppa with 3 kills. That's 5 HP left. And a plant allows for him to res his teammate. Self-heal first, and now the wall's been broken. And I think that window of opportunity to try to res might be a little bit too late. Thankfully, though, for Cloud9, they still have a player advantage. Recon guard coming through, trying to use the wall as an extra obstacle, and Zeppa gets picked off, down to a 2v2.
One more molly.
Counter wall coming up. There's a spray coming across. He jumps across as well.
Killed it.
And the molly's gone. Tap on that spike. Once again, halfway. Nobody's breaking that wall. Finally, double it up. That's a 1-for-1. Guardian left. And he lands that shot as well for Artazine. The fuse for MIBR as they're closing the gap by 3 rounds.
Res back 2, get the weapon online, save a bit of the econ, and get it rolling. Oh my gosh, the fact that that wall just solidified on the chunk that they were defusing, I think. Oh my gosh. Yeah. And then had to creep in, nicely played. I mean, you said it about the Guardians earlier. I think it's kind of true. They are crispy with the Guardians on the side of MIBR. Bazooka popping off back in the coach's area. Feeling good on that one. And MIBR gather another round at B. They've seemed comfortable there throughout the map so far. This is going to force a C9 timeout now.
Their last one.
See what Emmy can get into the head of the teams, what they might be dealing with, what he's seeing that they may not, and if he's hearing something that he wants to change, they can fix that all right now. Still got a lot of room to work with. 3 rounds, not too shabby, but it may not be this one, as this is the lower buy for C9 here. MIBR should be able to come away with 1 more before next gun round.
On a camp here from MIBR, they still have a Thrash to work with if they want to, and utilize that to retake the sites again. Another way to counter this pit that Vanity has been holding on to for the last couple of rounds. Not really able to find an opportunity to place it down here on the post plant.
All right, we are in. A little bit of a heavy stack towards B, or are they just setting up? No, okay, they're just going 2-1-2 in a different sort though. So they actually move Artsine off of that A site now. Oxy to the tube. C9 very aggressive to start here and get MIBR's utility off the map.
On top of that, taking control of Boiler. This is a new look here for C9 after the timeout. 2 players moving in that area, and with that turret being broken towards the kitchen, look how far back FRZ is. He lost control, full information, or 0 information rather, of Boiler, kitchen, and also any lurk through the pipes.
Yeah.
Look how passively and how you have to rotate out here from MIBR with
they
that.
Have to play full retake on B now just to get control of the map. And they thrash. That's going to be a good one. And Oxy take down the king right away. Let's see where they go from here.
Definitely see here an upgrade for a weapon. Floor being thrown, so now they know Thrash. So a Gecko and a Sage are currently playing towards the kitchen. Trying to find a play, inching out towards the A side of that side. It's Rudy with that Sheriff, almost connects onto that second one. And Vanity is at least able to trade towards that tube.
Vanity's pinched.
He has support of
It may not matter.
His own support is the Guardian once again. But that opens up the site here for Moose.
We've seen Moose do this before, and the fact that Vanity just got more than he should have means this could be Moose locking it in again in the clutch scenario. Ooh, they've got the Dizzy info. That doesn't mean he doesn't have the mollies and the angle in the backside.
So they got the Dizzy info, he got the alarm bot info. And RGL and a JZZ are sticking together. There's a full wide swing. Potential lineup, the high-low crouch. Trying to get the spray on the last one. JZZ runs it off, but it's the classic that saves it.
Oh, if only he had the banana clip. It wasn't enough, though. A defuse comes in, 12-10 now for MIBR. And what a good push there, getting themselves in almost a 1-1 there, a 1-1. But they are able to clean it up. 3 straight defuse rounds in the post plant for MIBR now. They're finding a way to get into the site, pick apart C9 on the defense after they've planted, and keep it going. Valiant attempt there to close out the game by Moose, but we go again. Bazooka keeps doing that. It's going to look like Emmy's head after a while. All right, here we go.
Placing swamp grenade.
Next round, round 23. They look to get the turret. Almost, they try to pull it away. It actually goes down.
That's actually a good start, but
yeah,
FRZ's pushed all the way down towards the tubes. So he puts the alarm bot in an aggressive position, which will not allow here C9 to take the mid-route info. But at least Oxy grabs the head of JZZ at the beginning on the A side. As they group up together now, just behind this orb is FRZ. And he's going to stay in range of the alarm bot for now. All of C9 grouping up now towards a hit at the B site.
Here they go towards B. And this strat's really cool they just did, because that was Oxy that destroyed the turret last time, right? So if they do it with a turret or a util this time, you have to consider if somebody peeks, but I'm sure MIBR knows it was just the molly, and that's your first blood, or kill from Artsine, I should say, for MIBR.
Yeah, a walk contact. And FRZ lands that shot onto Oxy, so rendering the res not as effective. Back to a 4 versus 4 situation. No clear advantage. A pit that comes up after the plant for Cloud9. Nothing here to counter out. No lockdown available for FRZ. An attempt of a pinch from behind, but it's a rotate back towards orange so they could all work together. They need Mazine with that flash to group up with the rest of the team to flash inside of this pit. Rooney getting ready to recon guard on the top of it as soon as util comes out on the other end. For the attempted retake from IBR. FRZ on the side of yellow. Molly pushing out Zephyr, lands that shot. Trying to find some kills through the Cloud Burst. Or through the Viper Orb.
And it's Rooney trying to stay alive towards that back. Moose is all alone once again. The late rotate across, but cannot win that fight against RGL. Will there be enough time?
Cut the right wire. Locks it in. Locks it in.
1 second left, and went 1 round away from MIBR to push this to overtime.
Time to stock back up.
Once C9 put the pit down, I thought it was said and done. They were going to be able to hold the site, but once they all started getting pushed back into the same tiny corner of the pit, and then out of the pit, and then it was only Vanity trying to hold the gas up. Wow. That's one of the scary things about the Viper's pit. If you don't have control over the site, you're giving a lot of space to the enemy to get very close, and then they just attack from every side as they close in. And C9 suffer that on that last round. Round 24 now, possible OT here if MIBR can hold that defense strong once again. And C9 have kind of gone away from this mid play, any of the B play, as they go for a death ball on the A site, and MIBR is right in their face.
Jiggle now coming out here from Vanity. But for MIBR, they don't know how many players are playing behind that wall because the Dizzy actually didn't come into contact with the double flash that they played. C9 side, it's pretty much buying whatever you can here for the last round, and it's Oxy with a Spectre and Bladestorm as they initiate the lockdown on the A site. Mazine looking for the lineup here just to try to delay that plant. Seems to be attempted to plant towards the top of the A site.
Oh.
Yeah, a little bit of chest bumps coming through, which doesn't allow for them to plant. That's a huge mix-up, actually, because now the wall's been broken, giving a chance for MIBR to set up here to fight for the retake or deny that plant. They're also giving that plant over to Rooney. Maybe that's why they needed that cancel, so they could use the Hunter's Fury on the Pulse plant. Bladestorm at the forefront, in the face of FRZ, up in the air, denied by Mazine. And there's that fight with the Hunter's Fury. On to the wingman. Players are dwindling down, disadvantage for C9. Lands that shot onto Artazine, but there's a defuse from JZZ. It's at halfway, he's trying to stick it, Nano Swarm pushes him away. It couldn't get broken there by RGL. But he does get the kill onto Vanity. Recon Dart not getting any information. It's still at halfway, almost no time left. Oh, he gets it from JZZ! The defuse and the extra rounds coming in for MIBR!
And in that, so they don't plant. They have to get the plant to Sova. Then the plant is forced to be tucked into default, which means they cannot play it from a distance. You have to use the Hunter's Fury for wingman anyways. What a round! Holy chaos, and MIBR thriving it in the end. Able to get the defuse, and because it was tucked in. And JZZ gets the upper hand on the swing. What? You have to be kidding. We go OT, extra innings on this one. And hands in the air. I think all C9 fans are doing it after that. As the OT is on the board. Holy.
Look at the amounts of diffuses that came through.
Incredible. The post-plant success here from MIBR. Like I said, they were going to turn it up once they got on the defensive side with this comp. And they showed that they could. So, C9 back on D, MIBR to attack. Do they stop now?
Decent damage there onto Mazine. And MIBR, with that confidence, just want to walk up for the contact. Jiggle comes through. Heal comes up there from behind as Artzine pops Mazine back up to 100. Knife also only spots that Saint, but they heard two sets of shots coming through. C9 actually has 4 players here towards this A site. Deniability here from the wingman to try to plant it for a generator. Activation from C9 to tempo back up towards the back of the site, but first blood is for MIBR still. Nano Swarm to delay. This time it's Seppa that gets the lineup onto FRZ and JZZ. Shots up plenty on the side of C9. Advantage coming in. Glass cannon off for Oxy as he's just watching back towards the spawn while his teammates are crossfiring to watch this spike.
30 seconds.
30 seconds left.
So much pressure here. MIBR moving forward.
Not cleared. They had the snake bite to work with, but they decide to play the contact instead. And C9 are able to still get map point.
Bomb grenade out. Switching sides. Match point.
Back to that defensive side for MIBR. Let's see if Cloud9 go for the death ball again here. I think it would benefit them quite a bit. The times Oxy was able to get super far up, and even on that strategy, when we saw them getting mixed up on the round, it was almost the same thing. Lockdown into push up, but Oxy didn't go screens that time. He tried to go towards the nest. So if they just keep that going, Oxy keeps pushing forward. I mean, he said himself in an interview before, it's like they're playing 4v5 anyway. So if I get a kill, we're up. Because I'm just out there doing my own thing, and they know that. So, yeah, Oxy goes out there, does his own thing. The team follows. The team will set him up. We've seen the drones just over the shoulder, helping to promote that and bring up what could be a 30 bomb for Oxy here at 28-16. FRZ 25-19. A lot of big frags coming in from MABR, as we said there. The aim's been on. It took them a while to get the macro game down, though, here on Split to start off.
A very early timeout now for Imi for Cloud9. In this first overtime, almost feels here that he figured something out, or at least wants to work the better protocols for Cloud9 in this post plant. Because again, the last few rounds that they were playing here on that second half has not been successful in their favor. And also, they needed some hero moments from MIBR's side to actually allow for this to happen. So trying to clean that up a bit. And it's potentially to fix up towards this B-side post plant. As C9 are all grouped together on that side. Although on the other end, though, for MIBR, they have two players there. Mazine and RGL working together, forced to fall back, Orb to come up, decaying a few players. But it gives a chance for the Owl drone to clear out towards yellow if Rooney wants to use it. Dash and set on the top. How? How? Two of them fall, and that's B-side open for C9.
Oxy go kill, right?
You don't need to see anything, Oxy. Just
they supported him, but he didn't even really get any of the util. He just kept shooting, and people died. I guess that's how it works when you're Oxy. The rotation here coming in from Artzine on the backside. C9 have this all but locked up here. It's going to be so tough for MIBR.
Still full util in the hands of JZZ. Slorb's going to help out a bit, and as we talk about that util, it's gone now as he falls. Artzine, close range shot onto Zeppa, but also lost his teammate in the process, and Oxy getting 4 in the round in that overtime. Pushing it forward finally for Cloud9. No derailing of the train. They win it 14-12.
Just getting a few extra rounds in there. MIBR able to scratch and claw their way up to an OT, but Cloud9, I think they shook the beast at that one, and they're like, okay. They come back even stronger. Emmy with the timeout to make sure, clean, cool, calm as they go into the next round too. And what a game from Oxy to start off. It made the first half look like C9 were going to run away with it, and then towards the end of the second half, Oxy back online. Did hit the 30, 32 and 16 there, so not too shabby all around.
Well, MIBR at least we're able to warm up now, and hopefully they'll push it to a third after the break.
Excuse me, would you mind taking a picture of us?
Oh, no problem.
Thanks.
Ooh, yes, problem. You need Verizon. Trade in that old thing and get a new iPhone 15 Pro with tons of storage, so you can take all the pics. So many selfies.
A preposterous amount of panos!
That means panoramic. And as many portraits of me as your heart desires.
How about none?
None, yeah, none feels right.
Trade in any iPhone in any condition and get iPhone 15 Pro on us. Only on Verizon.
Red Bull gives you wings.